Welcome to this training session on verification visits. This recording has been prepared for both institutions and peer evaluators to provide details on how to prepare for and conduct effective verification visits. The presentation you are viewing has been prepared by and is the property of the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. Reproduction, distribution, or transmission of this presentation, in part or in whole, is expressly prohibited without special written consent from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. For permission requests, email Middle States Commission at Higher Education at president@msche.org. For questions about an institution's accreditation status or for additional information about Middle States Commission on Higher Education's standard for accreditation, requirements of affiliation, policies and procedures, and applicable federal regulation requirements, you must contact Middle States staff. Always seek the advice of your institution's assigned Vice President Liaison for any questions specific to your institution. This presentation is not intended as a substitute for professional advice from Middle States staff, and use of this presentation does not guarantee any specific accreditation outcome. On the screen are learning objectives. These apply to both institutions and peer evaluators, unless otherwise noted. Identify purpose of verification visits. Identify the steps in the process for conducting verification visits. Develop an agenda for verification visits. Conduct effective verification visits. Complete the verification visits team report and submit with established deadlines. And recognize the options for commission action following a verification visit. In accordance with the United States Department of Education guidelines, published March 17, 2020, the verification visit is a follow-up, in-person visit following a virtual visit conducted for self-study or substantive change. The verification visit is not required when the Commission has conducted any other in-person visits since the self-study or substantive change. The purpose of the verification visit is to verify the presence of facilities viewed during the virtual site visit. A verification visit should take no longer than 1 day, depending on the number of sites visited that must occur. The Commission staff will contact the Accreditation Liaison Officers, also known as ALOs, informing them of the required verification visit to the main campus, all branch campuses, and designated additional locations. Next, the Commission staff will assign a Commission representative in accordance with the peer evaluator's policy and procedures. Please note that the Commission representative may be the same individual who conducted the virtual site visit, or new individuals may be selected who are located near the visit location. Upon assignment, the Commission representative will accept the invitation, disclose and verify conflict of interest, and certify that they agree to the Statement of Ethical Conduct. The Commission representative will then contact the ALO of the institution directly to schedule the visit. Once the visit has been determined, the ALO will inform the Commission staff so that a review is created in the secure Middle States Commission on Higher Education portal. Here are a few more details on the process. The Commission representative must follow COVID requirements of the institution and jurisdiction in which the institution is located. The institution will have an opportunity to affirm that there is no conflict of interest with the proposed visitor through the secure Middle States Commission on Higher Education portal within 10 calendar days. Upon the 10th day, the roster is considered affirmed. Commission representatives, in consultation with the institution, will confirm the date of the visit and address logistics, including any logistics related to any additional self-study site visits that must be conducted. Commission representatives will make travel arrangements independently in accordance to the travel policy and procedures. The institution may make some hotel and transportation arrangements and pay for them directly. The Commission staff will email Commission representatives the following information: information about the institution to be visited, the deadline for submission of the verification visit team report, and the verification visits team report template The template will also be posted on the Middle States Commission on Higher Education website. Per federal regulation, self-study site visits must be conducted to a representative number of additional locations in all branch campuses in accordance with the Commission's accreditation review cycle and monitoring policy and procedures. The self-study site verification visits must take place in person to the same locations where any virtual visit or visits took place. Peer evaluators may report on more than one location on the verification visit team report if the same peer evaluator visited all locations. What should happen during a verification visit? The visit should take no more than 2 to 3 hours. The visit will include primarily a tour of the campus facilities and a meeting with the accreditation liaison officer or appropriate institutional representative, such as the primary administrator for a branch campus or additional location. The tour of the campus facilities may include classrooms, laboratories, student services, or student support offices, library, and other appropriate facilities. Please note that the institution does not need to prepare a report or submit evidence in preparation for the visit. Also, Commission representatives do not have the option to request additional evidence. And lastly, the institution will not receive a copy of the report, or no institutional response is required unless concerns are identified. Following the verification visit, the Commission representative will prepare and submit the verification visits team report. The Commission representative will submit travel expenses in accordance with the Commission's travel policy and procedures. Once the Commission representative has submitted travel expenses, the Commission will invoice the institution for travel expenses only. There is no fee associated with verification visits. The Commission will provide notification of accreditation actions in accordance with the Communication in the Accreditation Process Policy and Procedure and Federal Regulation 3.4 CFR 602.26. On the screen are options for Commission actions, which are based on the Commission's accreditation actions policy and procedures. The first bullet states the action when the verification visit took place to the main campus only. That is, the institution has no branch campuses or additional locations and no concerns were identified. The second bullet point states the action when, in addition to the main campus, verification visits were conducted at either the branch campuses or additional locations or both, and no concerns were identified. The third bullet point states an action where concerns were identified during a visit and a supplemental information report is requested to address those concerns. Here are some important items to consider. The verification visits for self-study must be completed within 180 days of the declaration of the end of the pandemic by the President of the United States, which has been determined as May 11, 2023. The verification visit for change in ownership or a new branch campus must be completed within 90 days of the declaration of the end of the pandemic by the President of the United States. And the Commission will not accept third-party comments for this type of visit. Finally, on the screen, we have included 2 email addresses you may use if you have any questions about verification visits. Institutions, please contact your Vice President Liaison or the address on the screen. Peer evaluators, please email peerevaluator@msche.org. Thank you for viewing this training session. We wish to express special appreciation to peer evaluators for your service.